SsangYong Korando is the brand's medium-sized crossover, which it pitches as a low-cost alternative to the likes of the Nissan Qashqai, the Kia Sportage and the Hyundai Tucson. But despite the ever-increasing popularity of the segment, last year SsangYong sold just 5,500 of these things in all of Europe, compared to the Nissan Qashqai, which sold nearly 61,000. In the UK alone, that is. As a result, it's probably one of the rarest production cars on British roads at the moment, but do the small sales figures hide a surprisingly good value car? After all, it's not bad to look at, and starting from just $15,995, it's definitely worth a look, right? Well, given the Korando's low price point, there are some dodgy plastics lurking about, and the grippy leather in the steering wheel is the texture of a pensioner's hands, but overall it's quite well laid out and very handsome. Equipment is comprehensive, with all models as standard getting cruise control, Bluetooth connectivity and steering mounted controls for the infotainment system. Upgrade to this range-topping ELX trim and you get full leather upholstery with electrically adjustable and heated seats, along with a TomTom sat-nav and other bits and bobs like parking sensors, a reversing camera and LED lights. One of the best things about the Korando is the sheer amount of space inside. Thanks to a long wheelbase, there's lots of room for passengers, and despite the fact that this car is four-wheel drive, there's a flat cabin floor in the generously proportioned back. The boot, meanwhile, has 486 litres of space, which is over 70 litres more than the Qashqai, but a little less than what the Kia Sportage offers. Fold the rear seats down with a simple flip of these switches, and total load space grows to a maximum of 1,312 litres. Interestingly, while the first generation Korando was actually a licensed version of the old Willys Army Jeep, its modern counterpart was the first SsangYong to make use of modern unibody chassis design. Unfortunately, that doesn't translate into a modern driving experience. Crashy, overly soft suspension makes it feel a little like a listing ship while you're going through the corners, while the steering is vague and lifeless and lacks much by way of feedback. In terms of driving experience, at the least, all of its rivals have it trumped. Likewise, if there's one complaint that crops up again and again for SsangYong, it's that its engines can feel a little bit agricultural and a bit on the noisy side. The 176 brake horsepower 2.2 litre diesel in this car is no exception, but to its credit it is fairly punchy. More interesting is the fact that it generates a solid 400 Nm of torque from just 1,400 RPM, which means that it's got loads of low-end power for towing trailers, caravans and that sort of thing. Also, while many crossovers talk the talk about being able to go off-road but rarely deliver, the Korando can at least walk the walk thanks to its torquey engine and its four-wheel drive, which is something of a SsangYong specialty. CO2 emissions, meanwhile, range between 139 grams per kilometre and 177 grams per kilometre, depending on whether it's front or four-wheel drive. Still, you do get a lot of car for your money, and the Korando undercuts the majority of its rivals by around £2,000. For example, the Qashqai, the Tucson and the Sportage are all more than £17,000 as standard. This range-topping ELX starts from $22,495, but it is worth bearing in mind that the top-spec Dacia Duster costs only £1,000 or so more than the basic Korando and comes with a lot of the same equipment as well. Opting for four-wheel drive will cost more and will also harm the fuel economy, but it is worth bearing in mind that the SsangYong comes with an unlimited mileage 5-year warranty. It's probably fair to say that nobody's going to end up buying a SsangYong Korando for its driving thrills, but when it's measured according to its strengths, it certainly makes a case for itself in terms of cost effectiveness. Yes, the Dacia might be less expensive, but if you're looking for a cost-effective, capable and hard-wearing crossover and you're not too bothered about brand names, then there's a lot more to the Korando than just a discount price. But what are your thoughts on SsangYong's discount Qashqai rival? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the Inquire button to find out more details about this car, or for any other models visit carkeys.co.uk. And to watch more reviews, click on one of the links on the screen now.